All right, cool. We're on. Everybody, happy Wednesday. Hope y'all are doing okay. Yep, yeah, we're good. Okay, hey everybody. So go ahead and you can start putting your questions in the comment section below. You don't have to wait for me. You can just like start typing them all in. Hey, hello. Aw. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jessica. I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed the session. What are we up to? It's our reading day. So remember, it's our reading day, and then we'll do our study group later once we're done with this. So, all right. For those of you who don't know what the hell this is free reading time, which means you have an hour of my time to ask me whatever you want to ask me about. So you can ask your questions in the comment section below, and I will try to answer as many of them as I can. I try to do a good mix of like comment-based readings and then also video readings as well through Instagram. So if you want to be on video, you have to get your butt over to Instagram because that's where I do all the videos at, video calls at. But if you just want to type in your comments, your questions, then go ahead and do so. Feel free to do that. Just please be specific, which means don't assume that I know what the hell you're talking about or I know anything about the situation that you're referring to, because people like to talk in code. Just be specific. So if you're asking me about a specific situation, if you're asking me about a situation in your life, be specific. What is it that you are asking me about, or what do you want me to know? Don't assume I can read your thoughts, because I'm not going to go through all that. If you want to connect with the loved one in spirit, let me know who you want me to connect to, and I'll try to connect and give you any messages and so forth. If you just leave it open, like is there any messages for me? It's too general. I need y'all to be specific with who y'all want to connect with, just because if I start off with who would like to come through, it will take too long to figure that out, and if I'm not talking to you, it's going to be a lot harder to figure out who's coming through. It's better to just go on the assumption that I'm talking to someone, and then whatever they say is either going to match up to them or not, and so that's just the best way for me to do it, so I don't waste time. But be specific. Let me know who you want to connect with, and I'll try to bring through any messages or any information that can validate and help you to know that they are with you. I don't see them. I don't hear them. They don't really communicate or show up to me that way. If I could hear them, then I would ask them to speak perfect English, and I would pass everything along verbatim, like I'm Jennifer Love Hewitt on The Ghost Whisperer, which is BS. It doesn't work that way. I wish it did. I don't see them, so if I could see them, I would tell them all to learn sign language, and I would learn that as well, so we could communicate that way. They don't show up to me that way, so it's all in my brain. So I gotta figure out the signs and the pieces and bits and stuff in my brain to understand what they're talking about. What else? If you want to know more about what I do, check out my website. It's the best place to go. A lot of people like to message or like, hey, someone told me about you. What is your pricing? What is your availability? Like, people love to just randomly message. Just go to the website, guys. It's so simple. So you go to my website, everything that you need to know is there. My pricing, what services I offer, availability, it's all there. You can also, if you're on Instagram, you can click the button that says book now, or you can click the button that says go to website. You can just check that out. If you are on Facebook, same thing. There's options in all the other areas. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, you might have trolls popping in there, either people who are just rude and have no manners, or people who are trying to con you out of your money. Do not engage with those people. Just like report them and block them, just because if you do engage with them thinking that you're going to get a good reading, or that someone that's like, and they come up with the craziest things like, my beloved, I was drawn to you. I was like, okay girl, calm down. Like, beloved, really? So those are trolls. Those are people who are not, those are like fake accounts. They're going to try to take your money. So don't engage with those people. If they offer you free readings or whatever, really just like stay away from it, because it's just going to be a waste of your time. What else? For those of you who are new to me and my energy, please recognize and check yourselves, just because I have no tolerance for BS. So if people are going to act fools, act pushy, act rude, you're probably going to get banned by me as soon as I find out what you said, and then I'm going to go looking for your ass, and I'm going to ban you. You will never get any help from me. So you want my help, you have to treat me the way you expect to be treated. Yeah, I can be a little tough and I can get a little bit direct with people, but that's more out of because you need to hear something a certain way. It's not because I'm trying to be nasty to you. So just FYI with that. Those of you who come for me, you're going to get it, because I don't have time for it. What else? I have a newsletter that's out every week. Sign up for it, because I always like share stuff that I am working on. So all of my dear Fernies are on there. All of my video content, I promote that stuff on there as well. People who don't know that it's out there. I have a YouTube channel. I have a podcast. All these things I push out through the newsletter. So that way people who don't have time to follow me around knowing what I'm doing every second, you can just get it weekly in a newsletter, and that way you can catch up on what I did that week or what I put out that's available. That's free. Usually it's all free. Of course, not everybody who comes into these lives will get read, so there's no guarantee or promise that I'm going to read everybody, no matter how often or how often you come into these lives. So just be aware of that. I don't want to hear that drama later on because you were like, I've been coming a month and you don't see me, or you don't. I'm like, it's not like I'm avoiding you. I'm just like going and where I'm pulled. Now, if I'm avoiding you, if you think I'm avoiding you, check your questions. How are you asking them? What are you asking? Because you're being general, or if you're not being specific enough, that's probably why. And that's usually the common issue there. So just FYI with that. But I try to go with new people every single time as you're reading. So it's not like I'm trying to like ignore or avoid specific people. Most of the people in these lives are female. So just FYI, if you are a male, don't feel like I'm discriminating, because I'm not. That's just the makeup of it. So just FYI with that as well. Okay. All right. Let me get bouncing around here because I want to get started here. Okay, so going through here, not going in any particular order. Of course, as usual, my statements are personal opinions. They are not proven facts. Whatever decisions or actions you take in your life, you are 100% responsible and liable for those. You can change your future. It's never set in stone. I'm not telling you a certainty of what's to come. I'm giving you a energetic forecast of what I think is going to happen based on all the pieces that are happening in my brain. You can always change your future if you don't want things to progress in that way. I'm not, oh gosh, how do I put this? I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what I see. A lot of people don't understand that. I'm not like the other psychics where I'm just going to line up with everybody else and say, oh yeah, they're your soulmate. No, they're probably not your soulmate. Get over them. So just FYI, if you don't want to hear the truth of what I believe is the truth or what I see, don't ask me. So just because I'm just going to tell you the way that I see things. So just FYI with that, because I don't really want to be, I'm not here to sugarcoat or try to coddle people. Okay, so I'm just going through here. And by the way, I love you all. So don't think that I'm like this ruthless ass. I'm not. I'm just very direct and to the point because I have no time to waste, because I definitely want to just get to it. Okay, so let's go over here. Hi, I'm saving to get breast augmentation done. Do you see me having my procedure this fall, October? If not, when and will I get it? It's not going to be this fall. I think you actually have to wait until January, just because there might be, either you may decide to wait because you just don't feel comfortable with it at that point, or you decide to change who you're going to go with. But I'm thinking you'll have it done by January, so like right after the holidays. Right? Dasha Morales. Do my spirit guides have any messages for me? Thank you, Ferny. Yeah. Sometimes it's easy for us to kind of blame other people or to make others out to be the bad guy, like it's their fault or they're the ones or whatever, and we don't always take accountability for ourselves, especially when it comes to relationship or romance. You may need to take a look at yourself and see what your hand is in dealing with other people in a romantic way. Just because, again, it's easy for us to just want to blame other people and make them out to be the bad person, but I mean, with any relationship, it takes two people to tango. And if you're in a relationship, if you're in a crappy relationship with someone, then just because they're being crappy to you doesn't mean that you get a free get out of jail card. You're still accountable because you put yourself in that situation. So you need to take a look at how you contributed to stuff. I'm not saying that's your situation, mama. I'm just telling you that you need to own up to what you put in to any relationship as well. Just that way, instead of this being like it's all happening to me, it's more like, okay, well, this is what I did, so this is probably my fault. But I'm going to own up to what I can change for myself, so that way I can improve the relationships that I have with others. And so they're wanting you to kind of own up to a little more of what you put into relationships. That way you can start to get more back from them. But guys, any messages for me is too general. I need you to be specific. Just because when y'all say any messages, I don't know who you're asking about. I don't know if you want me to connect with the spirit guide. I don't know if you're a specific person you're asking a message from on the other side. Be specific who you want me to connect with. That's just too general, and I'm gonna skip your question and you're gonna get mad at me. Shannon, today is my daughter's 16th birthday. Anything for her? Yes, first of all, even though today is her 16th birthday, she showed me that there may be 3? Okay. There may be 3 dates of significance within a 30-day period. In other words, within 30 days, forward and backwards, there may be 2 other dates aside from just her birthday. So there may be 2 other dates of significance. She's also acknowledging the number 3, which would be the month of March or the 3rd of a month. She also keeps, thank you. She also keeps acknowledging a red ruby stone. So I don't know if you've been collecting stones that are red in color that you associate with her, or if you actually have a piece of jewelry that's got like a red stone in it that she's trying to make reference to or acknowledge to herself. She also keeps, thank you. She also keeps acknowledging there might be a picture or an image of her. I almost feel like I'm seeing a floaty. You know those floaties that people, when they get in like a river and they get on a floaty, or if they're like in a pool and they're on a floaty. She's showing me a picture in a floaty. So I don't know if you have an image of her on a floaty that she like enjoys or is one of her favorites, or if you were, no, I don't think it's for you, I think it's for her. So I think she's acknowledging herself in a floaty. So there's a reference there as well. She also keeps, thank you, she's kissing you on the forehead. So if you have a memory of her doing that, or if you have had a dream of her doing that, that's from her, okay? Also, floaty could also represent another symbol, just because when I'm seeing her like that, almost like not rocking the boat or trying to stay balanced. So it could also have a double meaning. So just FYI with that. Angela Danny Farrington, when do you see babies for me? I am seeing baby energy for you. It's either in 7 months. 7 months would be February, right? Yeah, so July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Oh, that would be like January. So I want to say maybe early next year. So I'm thinking there's baby energy for you early next year, just because when I ask for the first opportunity, it comes up in the first part of next year, or in about 7 months. So that's when I'm seeing baby energy for you. Amanda Rios. Hey, Ferny, any messages from my mommy? Really missing her. Yeah, she's drawing on my skin, so I don't know if you've already gotten a tattoo for her or if you're in the process of getting one, but she's drawing on my skin, so she's making reference to that. She's also acknowledging, thank you, she's also acknowledging, even though you have a little heart in your little thing, but she's actually showing me a heart as well. So I don't know if you have an image of her inside of a heart, or if there's a heart with her in a picture, because she's making reference to that also. She's also showing me yellow flowers, so I don't know if you put yellow flowers with her in her memorial site, or if you actually just buy yellow flowers for her, because she's showing me yellow flowers as well. She also keeps, thank you, she also keeps acknowledging, you know how sometimes when people get married, they like sign the book, right? And some people, they'll like keep the book and stuff like that. I feel like I'm seeing something, but I don't think it's an actual book or like a paper. I almost feel like it's either like a piece of fabric, or it's something that feels long like a fabric, but I'm seeing signatures or signs, like people signing it. So she's showing me something like this. I don't know if you have something that is connected to mom that also has like a bunch of signatures on it, but it doesn't feel like it's just the book. So I don't think this is a book. I think this is like either like a shirt or a apron, or just like a piece of fabric that has something signed onto it. She's showing me something like this, so I'm not exactly sure what that means, but that's what she's showing me. Okay. There's a baby with her in spirit, by the way. So if you've ever had a child that was miscarried, lost, or terminated, or if you know one in the immediate family, she's just validating or confirming that for you. Okay. Tammy Pitzel. Hi, if I get the COVID shot, will I have side effects, and will they be bad? So I can't guarantee that you're not going to have side effects, because I'm not a doctor. However, my feeling with you getting the shot, first of all, I think everybody should get the vaccine, just because it's just the way that I feel. And today I heard of another family member who is in the hospital, and we don't know if she's going to make it. So, I think everybody should get vaccinated. That's just the way that I feel. Doesn't matter. I just think everybody should get vaccinated. It just will reduce the chances. And I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about this, because I've been repeating myself about this, and I've been going on and on and on, and people are just like, I don't want to hear it, Ferny. Like, you know, stop forcing me. I'm not forcing anybody. I'm just telling you that I know that people who aren't vaccinated are going to get it worse, and I don't want people to suffer. That's just, I'm not trying to make a point. I'm just trying to reduce the impacts of people getting sick and being hospitalized, okay? And this is from personal experience, and then having to deal with this again this week, when I've just been dealing with this with my assistant, and then we had Thea pass away a couple weeks ago, so I'm like over all of this. So I would just say you just need to get vaccinated. That's how I'm going to put it. I don't feel like the side effects will be as bad for you, but I do think that you will have some side effects. I think it'll be something just like headaches and being tired, but I can't guarantee that you're not going to have more other side effects. That's just what I'm feeling around your situation, okay? Lindsay Amador, hi Ferny, how are you? I'm all right. As good as it's gonna get. Any scary snakes recently? No, the snake was brought back, by the way, guys. The snake that they took last week, she brought it back 2 days later. So yesterday we saw him, and I got a video of him, and he was drinking water, and he was going about his business. So he's back. I am excited. I am 7 weeks pregnant with my first baby. Do you see me having a girl or a boy? I would say I'm thinking it's a boy because I'm feeling more of a boy vibe. So I'm going to say boy. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say. I could be wrong. That's not, by the way, y'all, like, names and guessing baby sexes is not my strongest ability or my strongest suit. But I still do it anyways, or I still try to anyways. But yeah, I'm going to say boy. Okay? I'm going to put, even though you put girl as if you wanted it to be a girl first, I still think it may be a boy. Angela Soria Gonzalez. Any messages from Spirit Guide or Brother Alex? Thank you. Yeah, with your brother Alex, he's doing something interesting. He's showing me a cap or a hat that's got 2 different colors and it's split in half, if that makes any sense. In other words, let's say I was wearing like a baseball cap and the color is like split halfway down the middle. One side is one color, the other side is the other color. He's showing me something like this. I don't know what that means, and I've never even seen a hat like that, but I'm seeing a cap or a hat that is similar to that. So there's a reference there. He also keeps showing me a wallet or like the thing that he would keep his money with. So I don't know if y'all have his wallet still or if y'all have the thing that holds money, because he's showing me something like that as well. He also keeps acknowledging the 7th, so the month of July or the 7th of a month may be connected as well. He also I keep smelling smoke. So I don't know if he was a smoker or if he just vaped, but I'm smelling smoke. So he's making reference to that. He's also pointing the finger at himself. So I'm not sure if he... Usually when I see that, that's my symbol that they either own up to what happened or they're blaming themselves for it. So there's a reference there, okay? Daniela Sanabria. Hi, Ferny. I just interviewed with NASA. Do you see me getting the job? I'm currently a contractor for NASA. I feel like you might get the job. I'm feeling more like it. Like it's the thing I'm asking myself, when do I see an actual job change? And I don't see anything until October. So I don't know if you have to wait until the end of your current contract to start that role with NASA, or if you just have to wait because of the way that they're shuffling things around. So I'm going to say yes, I think you'll get it. But I don't see anything actually kicking into gear until like September, October-ish, around that time frame. Okay. Let's go over here. Miss Pretty Lady Ash, does my grandfather visit me and my son? Yes. It's interesting. He's showing me birthday. I don't know if we're within 30 days of a birthday, but I'm seeing balloons, so I would say that there's a date of significance within 30 days. He also keeps acknowledging the number 12, which would either be the 12th of a month or the month of December. He also keeps acknowledging okay. He's also showing me something. I'm not sure what this is. I'll tell you what I'm seeing to kind of, and because I feel like he's trying to get me somewhere. So first I saw like a dog that was like 2 colors, like black and white, like Snoopy. And then I saw something that seemed like it wasn't real, but then it was like a stuffed animal. And then I saw something that looked like a porcelain or like a little figurine. I have no idea what he's trying to say with that, but that's how he presented it to me, and it was kind of like trying to follow the chain of thoughts there. I wish I could speak to you because I would tell you, or we could go back and forth with this, but he's showing me something like that. He is also doing this, so there might be a necklace that is a reminder of him, or that may represent like good luck. It may not actually be a necklace that belongs to him or is connected to him, but there may be something that may represent or remind y'all of him, because I'm seeing something like this as well. I'm also seeing there might be more than one place where he is honored or where he is listed. In other words, usually like if someone's buried, that's one memorial, right? But then if someone started in the military, or if someone was involved in like a organization, then they'll put their names, or something is donated in their name, and then it shows up on there. There's something like that he's making reference to as well, because he's acknowledging that and saying thank you, or he's aware of this. He also he's making funny fingers. I don't know if he was missing a point of like a finger, or if he had issues where one of his fingers was messed up, but he's doing something with the finger, and he's almost like acknowledging something funny or something odd with the finger in that way. That's how I want to interpret it. He also keeps acknowledging interesting. He also is talking about someone being raised by someone other than their father. So for example, even though I had a father, I never met my father, but I was mostly raised by, my mom raised me, but then my grandpa raised me as well. So my grandpa was around a lot. So there might be something where someone they had a father, but they were raised by a different male, or they may have had two fathers, but there's something there that he's trying to make reference to or acknowledge. I want to say that this either has to do with you or has to do with your mother, but there's a reference to something about having two fathers, or being raised by someone other than the father, and kind of calling themselves the father, even though they're not by default, like technically the biological father is how he's putting it. Okay, but he does come to visit with you. He will drop coins. So he says he likes to drop coins. If you ever find a coin either on top of a television or on top of a screen like that, like a video screen or computer, that's from him. Now, granted, most TVs are flat, so there's like nothing above. But again, if you find a coin on the very top edge of the screen, that's from him. So look out for that. Okay. People, when you say what does my future look like, or what does this person's future look like, literally is too general. Bring it specific. Like, what exactly are you asking me about? Don't assume I know everything about you, because I don't know everything about you. My brain I can barely remember my own daily activities. My brain would blow up if I knew everything about everybody. So, and no psychic has ever known everything about everybody. So don't assume I know everything. It's like if you go to a doctor. All right, doctor, go. And you expect the doctor to immediately, just by looking at you, knowing what's wrong. They usually have to conduct tests, and they have to figure things out in the way that they figure things out. It's the same way with psychics, same thing with meteorologists. Don't assume I know everything about you. Biggest misconception. I'm literally dedicating an entire chapter to my book that I'm writing right now about that misconception, because that's a huge misconception. Hi, Ferny, do you have any messages from my mama? Yeah, first of all, if you smell anything floral, or smell roses, that's from her. She also makes me feel, thank you. She also makes me feel that she's tried to get your attention while you were in the kitchen, because she's acknowledging some experiences in the kitchen that might, thank you. So what I'm thinking about, which is why I'm talking about the kitchen, is I once had a client where I was doing a reading for her, and I told her that her daughter there was a candle that she was making reference to, and she's acknowledging a candle and it breaking, or it falling, like glass in the kitchen. What happened that day, I didn't know about it. Earlier that day, from what I remember, is that she had a candle that she considered to be her daughter's, because she had something connected to it, and it was in the kitchen, and it just shattered while she was in the kitchen, and it happened earlier that day. So when I was talking to her and telling her daughter was talking about this glass breaking or candle breaking, she knew exactly what I was talking about. So your mama was acknowledging something like that. So I don't know if you have a candle that you keep in your kitchen that you think of when you think of her, or she's simply trying to get your attention, and something may have happened that was weird in the kitchen that had to do with something breaking. But there's a reference there. She also keeps showing me a picture, and she's wearing like a reddish floral print. It may not just be a solid color, it may be like a flowery floral print. And this might have been when she was either in a better physical state or when she just felt better. She's almost wanting to take me back to that, but take me back to when she felt that way or when she was in that state, because she's making me feel like this is how she feels now. Also, people, when they dream of her, she might be wearing this or she may be coming through looking like this as well, because she's acknowledging that also. She's also pulling on your hair, so I don't know if you just changed your hair in a very different way, or if you've been getting some attention for your hair, but she's pulling on your hair as if there's a significance there as well. She's also showing me the number 11 too, so 11 may be significant, or the month of November may be connected. Okay. All right, let's bring somebody on. So let's bring somebody on and see. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so nothing going on there, Alina. Let's try somebody else. Let's see. Let's try Tanya. Tanya.
Oh,
hello.
hi,
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
wonderful. How are you? I can't see you. You're buffing.
You can't hear me? You can't see me?
I can't see you. It's buffing, buffing, buffing.
Oh, I'm so up. That's weird. No, I'm here. I can see you perfectly.
Oh, okay, good, good. Well, I just pressed join and here I am.
Well, good, good.
I wanted to see if my daddy had any messages for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First of all, he keeps it. Thank you. Do you have 2 shirts that are connected to Dad?
2 shirts. My son does.
Okay, because he's acknowledging 2 shirts. Do you know if your son wore one for a special event or wore one for like a party or an event or something like that?
I'm not sure. My son lives in Los Angeles.
Okay, here's what I will say. When you talk to your son in a dressed, oh, let's see. Oh, now you're buffering. So let me see, make sure. There you are. He's like having someone wear it during a special event or a celebratory thing. So ask your son when you have the chance, because it's like if I went to a party or I went to my graduation and I wore this shirt. Like there's something there that he's making reference to, that he's trying to acknowledge for him. He also shows me thank you. He also shows me the number 2. Do you know February or the 2nd of a month is connected?
My birthday's February.
All right. He might just be trying to tell you happy birthday. He's also acknowledging another date later in February as well. Do you also know there's a date significance in the 20th or 21st as well? It's either February 20th, 21st, or there's another date he's trying to talk about, which is the 20th or the 21st.
Well, July 21st is when he passed.
Perfect. That's acknowledged. So he acknowledged your birthday. He said happy birthday. He also acknowledged his own date. So he's making reference to that. He also keeps acknowledging that he's the sound of someone walking in the house. Have y'all heard people in the house when it's supposed to be quiet or no one's supposed to be there?
Yes, absolutely.
Because he says that is him. So he's making reference to that is him doing that. He also makes me feel, thank you. Is there a Sonia or Sunny name connection?
Sonia, he has a cousin named Sonia.
Okay. Do you know if she's passed?
No. We just actually lost my my mom's little brother, Guillermo, but no, he just...
No, he's acknowledging a female that's with him that's like S-O or S-O-N, unless I'm misspelling the name, but it's like a Sania. It's got a name like that, but he's referencing a person in spirit with him that has that name. So you might have to ask your family to find out, because he's making reference to that, and they're older. I think they're like older. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. Do you have a cross that's connected to Dad?
I have his, oh my God, I just lost it a couple of weeks ago and I was freaking out. It's a little anchor that's shaped like a cross, yes.
Okay, he's acknowledging the cross, so there's a reference there. He also keeps, thank you. He also keeps acknowledging, do you have a piece of leather or a leather strap that's also connected to Dad? It's like either a belt or it's like a piece of leather that is like, I almost feel like I want to call that a strap, but I don't think it's a thick as a strap, but it's like a leather string thing.
I think my sister got the most of his things when he
Okay.
passed.
So, well, the reason why I'm asking this, right? So back in the day, with my uncle, he used to go hunting, and whenever he would go hunting, he always kept like the horns, and he kept like the legs sometimes, and he would have them like. He showed me something like this, and I'm seeing leather. So there's something that either is connected to deer and leather, or is connected to like a animal and leather. But it feels like there's a strap association to it, as if it be hanging on a leather strap. Okay, I'll
Mm,
leave that with you. You may have
oh,
to ask your sister. There's a reference there.
yes, sir.
He's repeating his name twice. Do you know if two people have taken on his name?
My sister is having a little boy in August, and she's naming him after my dad.
Perfect. And then he says twice. So do you know if he was named after someone as well? Your dad?
And well, she's using both of his names.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, then that would
Yeah,
make sense. Perfect. So
yeah,
that he's
yeah,
acknowledging that. Got it.
yes.
He also keeps acknowledging the month of April as being significant. Do you also know there's a connection to the month of April?
My sister's birthday is in April.
Perfect. To wish her a happy birthday. So he's acknowledging that as well.
That's,
He also is showing me a picture of himself with a drink in his hand. Do you have a picture of him with a drink in his hand and he looks like he's having a good time?
I just posted a Father's Day tribute with a few pictures of him. One of them I cropped off. It was during Christmas, but he liked to enjoy a beer here and there.
Okay,
So
because he's showing me a drink in his hand, so there's a reference there.
okay,
Someone may have also either put beer with him or may have toasted him or drunken beer. Was your dad buried?
yes,
Got it. Do you know if someone left a beer for him or poured beer for him there?
possibly. I know my
It would have
sister.
been male.
I'm sorry,
It would have been a male.
a male, maybe one of his brothers.
Okay, so I'll leave that with you. You may need to check with that. Also,
Okay,
is there a Josuelo or It sounds like I want to say Jose, but it's not Jose. It's like Josue, Josua. It's got like a. It's weird because it sounds Hispanic and French at the same time. It's a weird name. I don't feel like this is connected to your father though. This might be connected to somebody else.
the only name that sounds familiar to that is my nephew Hasiel. Hasiel.
Is it? And that would that be your grandfather's nephew?
My on my mom's side, his great grandson. Yeah, it's my my mom's dad's.
No, I don't think that's it.
Hmm.
There's another person that's there. It's a female. She's tying herself to that name, and I think the nephew. So, do you know if the mother or the grandmother of that
Family.
uh, if
Yeah,
they passed recently?
yeah. Well, not recently. Like I said, Guillermo is the one that passed. He's my mom's brother.
Is How is that connected to the nephew?
That was his uncle.
Okay. That's not it. No, this is a female. I've got a female coming through who's
Okay.
on that side of the family,
Okay.
and I want to say this was either like the mother of the parents of that child or the grandparent, but it feels like they passed fairly recently or within the last 2 years.
No. Both most of my grandparents have passed away 5 years plus.
It may be the in-law, so it may be the person that's married into that family. So you may need to check with them because there's a, yeah. Your dad's with you. He's with you, sweetheart. And by the way, he did, that's funny. If you hear him or you hear someone speaking, but you can't make out who's talking, that's your dad. Because
Oh
he
my
says you can hear
God, all
him.
the time. I hear talking all the time, and I
Yeah.
keep. Okay, so it is my
It
daddy.
is your dad. He's just trying to like get your attention. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I will.
All right, sweetheart.
Thank.
All right, mama. By the way, keep an eye out for fibrosis or fibrosis. Do you know what those are?
No.
Okay, fibroids or fibrocysts, also called polycystic fibrosis in some instances, are these pockets of tissue that sometimes show up in the body. I believe they can show up in the breast and in the uterus. If they become an issue in the uterus, sometimes women will have a hysterectomy, depending on what the doctors recommend. If you start to have pressure or if you start to have weird like stuff going on in the reproductive system, follow it up with the doctor because you might have a fibroid that needs to be checked.
Oh wow. Okay, wonderful.
Okay?
Thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome, sweetheart. All right, mama, you take care of yourself.
Thank you. You as well.
You
Thank
too,
you.
mama.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Oop, did I think I just oh, there it goes. It's just like re-invited her. I was like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Let's go to the next one. Let's see. Guys, I have to pee, but I'm like, I'm not gonna get up and go pee. I have to wait. So like, this is what I have to do when I'm working anyway. So, hello,
Hello.
hi, Mama. How you doing?
I'm good. Can you see me?
I can see you just fine.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. By the way, I'm seeing wedding bells around you. You're not engaged, are you?
No, not yet.
Are you in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay. You might things may be changing within the year because when I see wedding bells around somebody, it usually indicates that either a relationship is going to go to the next level, or there's a new intense love coming into the picture, or they're going to be getting engaged and married. So BFY. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. All right. What do you want to ask me about?
We recently lost my nana in the end of February. And I was hoping maybe she's usually got a lot to say, so I'd be shocked if she didn't like come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, she's showing me. Thank you. She's acknowledging a birthday or date of significance. Are we within 30 days of a date of significance? Because she's talking about now.
Yeah, it was just her birthday in June.
Perfect. She's just bringing that up, so she's acknowledging that. She's laughing and she's like, "Did you always call her for her birthday, or did you always connect with her on her birthday?"
Yeah, and I called her just like every day in general.
Perfect. So she's acknowledging calling her on her birthday. She says, next birthday, you might have an experience, so be prepared. So she's almost like letting you know about that. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. Is there a picture of her in front of a cake with flowers in a circle?
Um,
There might even be a strawberry on top.
a strawberry on top. Not that I can think of.
She's showing me a picture of her, and there's like a white cake, and it's got some flowery stuff on the corners, and then maybe a raspberry or a strawberry on top. So if you look through pictures, you might find this because she's acknowledging this. She's fine. She's happy because she keeps smiling as if she wants you to know how happy she is.
Yeah.
She also is acknowledging, thank you. She showed me the month of January as well. Do you know if there's a connection or significant date in January?
That's my birthday, yeah.
Perfect. She's just acknowledging your birthday, so she's wishing you a birthday as well. She sends you birds, but you might have interesting experiences with non-traditional birds. For example, traditional birds that are signs are like doves or red cardinals. She's acknowledging like an owl or a hawk or a parrot. So if you have any weird experiences or encounters like soon with these out of the ordinary birds, that's from her. So she's making reference to that. She also makes me feel, thank you. Is there a Dolores or a Dila, Dala, Dola, Delori? Is there like a DL sounding name connection to the family?
I don't think so.
Like Delani, Delini. It's got a DL sound that she's making reference to. For example, I have a client who's De Leon. It almost like I'm almost getting that vibe in my mind. So there's a reference there. She's also acknowledging, thank you. She's thinking, I'm like, what are you going with this? She keeps going back to De La Rosa, De La Ris, De La Rey. It's got a DL sound to it. I don't know if this is connected to your family, and she's acknowledging someone with her who has this name. Is that it? Yeah, that's got to be it. There's a person that's got this name. It's a female. It's got to be a female that's with her. She's trying to acknowledge someone who's with her. She also keeps thank you. Do you know if she, say what?
Della Vecchia.
Who is that?
That's the last name of an aunt of mine.
Okay, is she passed?
Yes.
Okay, so FYI, that's her trying to let you know who's with her. So she's acknowledging that. Your grandma, do you know if she needed breathing support because she couldn't breathe on her own?
Yes, yes.
Okay, because she's acknowledging that. She also, do you know if people had to make a decision to let her go? Or to discontinue?
No.
Okay, because what she's doing is she's acknowledging the breathing support, and then she's acknowledging making the decision to no longer go that route or use all of that. Was she also on a lot of medication?
She was on medication and she was on an oxygen tank. And I think towards the end, she knew that something was wrong again, and she decided like not to go back to the doctor.
Okay, because the way she's making, oh, I get it now. Because the way she's making me feel is like, this was breathing support was hard. I don't want to have to do anymore. And that's the way she makes me feel. And so she's acknowledging the decision that is made that stops the treatment or stops this. And that's how she's acknowledging it. That to me just indicates that it was time to go. It was time for her to go on. So she's just acknowledging that this is how it needs to be. She also is apologizing for the timing of this. Do you know if there was supposed to be a wedding or an anniversary celebration around the timing of her passing? Right around that time. It's almost like there was a funeral and also this event that was supposed to happen right around the same time.
I forget.
That's okay. I'll leave that with you. But she's acknowledging like the timing was bad because it was her passing and then there was like a wedding or something very similar in that field right around the same time because she's acknowledging that. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. She's acknowledging your mom, so she wants to bring up your, is this your mom's mom?
Yes.
That would make sense. So she wants to bring up your mom. So she's acknowledging that. She's talking about the three sisters as well. Is your mom one of three sisters or the three other sisters?
I'm one of three sisters.
Oh, got it. She's just wanting to say hello to your other sisters as well. So she's making reference to this. She also says thank you. I don't know if the toilet flushed by itself or the water was turned on, but she's acknowledging messing with like a water feature or a water thing to get y'all's attention.
Okay.
Okay. She also says, thank you. Did you change out the curtains in your room?
I just changed my shower curtain.
Yeah. Okay, got it. She's just acknowledging, knowing that the curtain was just changed. So she's making reference to that as well. She says she liked the color, so she's acknowledging that as well. She's showing me a candle. Do y'all have a candle that y'all light for her?
Yeah, I have a candle in my room. Yeah, for her.
Okay, because she's acknowledging the candle that's lit. So she's making reference to that. She also says, she's doing this. Did she leave y'all money or did she leave you a little money?
A little bit, yeah.
She's acknowledging this. She just wants you to have a good time. She also says to be careful, and she also talking about Vegas. Were you thinking about going to Vegas, or were you planning on a trip to Vegas?
No.
Okay. FYI, if there's an opportunity to go to Vegas, which I feel like there is, she's acknowledging to have fun, but just to be careful.
Okay.
Okay, because this may come up later this year or early next year. But she's acknowledging this Vegas because she's showing me casino. But I think of Vegas like you've seen the lights and stuff. Something that's actually Vegas.
She was a gambler, so casino.
Oh, and have you ever been to Vegas?
I haven't. I used to go to Atlantic City all the time, and she would always tell me to like gamble for her and stuff.
Okay, so you need to take a trip to Vegas. I think she wants you to take a trip to Vegas. So that's probably what she's acknowledging. She also says, when you go to Vegas, take as many pictures as you want because she's going to show up in your pictures.
Okay.
Okay?
She would,
All right.
yes.
All right, sweetheart. Well, you take care of yourself, Mama.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's go into the next one.
Hi,
Hello.
hello.
Sweetheart, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What do you want to ask me about? I feel like I haven't. I talked to you before, right? I talked to you a few times before.
Huh?
I talked to you a couple of times before.
Yes. I've been having, like, my dreams are so vivid. I've always wondered, what was I my past life?
Which
I
one?
felt like a spoiled little brat.
Well, I feel like you've had about 91 or 92 past lives, so you've had a lot of them.
Wow.
So it just depends on which one. I don't actually think you were spoiled right in your last life at all. I actually think you were in your most recent past life, because I feel like this. When I go into the early 70s, how old are you right now?
I am 38 years old.
Oh, you're my age. Yeah, this would have been in the 70s, because I feel like I'm seeing this in the 70s. I feel like in your most recent past life, you were actually a female instructor at a university in California. So you were a teacher. It was legal or law.
You know what? And I feel that. And it's the strangest thing. I keep on having dreams. I'm like, what is it trying to tell me? What is this? That's what I've been dreaming about. I've been dreaming about teaching. And I'm like, it seems so vivid.
It's a past life memory. Yeah, we have a tendency of having we can dream up our past life. And so like I've had several dreams about different past lives, one of them with a Titanic experience. But yeah, like I think what you're dreaming is your past life, which was when you were an instructor in the legal industry in California.
Okay. And then another quick question. I with all of my health issues that's going on, I got the strangest phone call from my doctor's office today, and she wanted to know if I've made a decision on what I want to do with my ovaries, and I didn't give her an answer because I'm just still really, really unsure. I am so torn about this. I don't know why, and I usually can make up my mind, but I am beyond terrified.
Yeah.
I I know that I can still have one ovaries, but I don't know, I feel so empty because I already had my uterus taken out, and yeah, uterus taken out and then my ovaries.
Did you get a second opinion?
No, I haven't had a chance because it was so quick.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to get a second opinion.
I will get a second opinion, and then you'll feel more confident about the decision.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
you
And then
just need a
third,
second opinion. It's not that your doctor doesn't know what they're doing, but you kind of just need a second pair of eyes just to kind of give you an idea of how to best approach this. But I always recommend, like, if you're not sure about it, then ask another expert. And I would just say get a second opinion.
and then one last question. I've never met my grandparents. I I just want to know, are they proud of me? I mean,
Hmm.
where I am in life right now, how I'm
Hmm.
raising my family.
Yeah,
I
do people
mean,
say that you look a lot like your grandma?
there's a picture. I look, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like igualito. You know, so she's like, yeah, she's so proud of you. Your grandmother is also acknowledging. First of all, white doves or birds are going to be a sign from them to look out for those. Also, your grandmother is
Hummingbirds.
your grandmother's acknowledging. Do you know if there's actually a figurine or something that belonged to them that has two little doves or two lovebirds?
My mom has a figurine with two
Got it.
birds.
Got it. She's acknowledging. Do you know? Do you know if that's connected to your grandma?
No,
Okay.
no,
She
I
ask
don't
your
think
mom.
so.
It's okay. Ask your mom about this because she's acknowledging this thing. So she's making reference to that. She also keeps thinking Tomas or Tomas.
That's my husband.
Okay, so that's your husband. She's just wanting to acknowledge your husband, so she says she knows your husband. So she's just making reference to that. Um, she's holding a baby with her, so she's got a baby with for you.
Yes, I know about that
Yeah.
too.
She's gonna try to tell you this directly in a dream. So if you have a dream about someone holding a baby, that's your grandmother.
That's my grandmother.
Hmm. She's trying to
Has
let
she
you
been
know.
coming into my dreams a lot?
She's been trying to guide you for a while, so she's been coming around for a bit. But I think with all of this, I think she's trying to tell you that there's a baby waiting for you. So to not worry that there is going to be a baby for you.
But I can't have a baby because I had a
Doesn't
hysterectomy.
matter. Doesn't matter.
Does,
There's other ways of doing it. Even though you may have one, or you'll end up with one ovary, she's acknowledging there's a baby still for you. So don't control how that's going to happen because I don't know how that's going to happen. But she's got a baby in her hands and says there's a baby meant for you. So,
I have a teenage daughter.
well, put a you better put a metal belt in your
Oh,
waist because I don't know how this baby's going to happen. I've never even heard of someone ever getting pregnant without a uterus. However, she's holding a baby with her, and she says there's a baby meant to come to you. So there is another child that will come to you.
not gonna happen.
I tell her she's holding it. So unless you've already lost a baby and I'm misinterpreting the symbol, but she's
I
acknowledging.
lost the baby.
Okay, well then
I lost the
then I
baby.
may be misinterpreting because she's got a baby with her, so she's acknowledging this baby with her. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Oh, you just put my mind at ease. I appreciate you so
You're
much.
welcome, sweetheart. Well, you take care of yourself and get that second opinion.
I will. I will. I'll update you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's see. Let's go here. Hello.
Hi,
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. What do you want to ask me about?
Uh, I'm honestly just so shocked that I'm here. So give me like 1 second to
Aw.
like get my thoughts together.
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
Um, so recently my mom suffered like a brain hemorrhage last year, and like that's obviously took an emotional turmoil on the family. So I was just curious, like how's her health going to be emotionally, physically, and all of
Did
that.
she regain like 40% of her faculties?
She's sorry, I don't know if I understood the question, but like as far as like her physical everything,
Abilities?
she's good to go. It's just I think the emotional like consequence coming from that.
Yeah. There's two things. First of all, with your mom, I want her to still keep an eye on her blood pressure because any blood pressure spikes are going to be a trigger. I also think that they may, in 2 or 3 years from now, they may talk to her about something that they want to keep an eye on that may also be a contributing factor to what happened with her. Whatever they suggest or bring up is definitely the way to go because I feel like it would actually help her to avoid this in the future, even though whatever they're suggesting may sound risky. So just FYI with that. Okay. I also feel. What was the question? I totally got on mom with this.
Yeah, just like as far as her general depression or like state of being, how long is that going to continue, or is there going to be some,
Yeah. Do you feel like she's like 40% of the person she used to be, like personality wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll get herself back. Give her another year. I almost feel like your mom is. I don't think she was prepared for being in this situation or for feeling as vulnerable as she was. And I feel like the idea of having to depend on others is just been a bit of mess for her. Give her about a year. I think she'll start to kind of get back into a sense of control. I also feel that some of her digestive processes may have been messed with while this all happened. And so there might be deficiencies that are contributing to the way she feels. So she checks and gets with the nutritionist or just tries to improve her absorption, even just like with the liquid supplement. I think that might make a big difference for her as well. But I would say give her about a year. I think she'll get herself back.
Cool. And then can I also ask about obviously with this, it has put maybe strain on like my dad as well in the household. So like, how does that look like it's going to play out as well?
Yeah, your dad. So I think, first of all, the pressure on him or the pressure that he feels will get much better in about 4 or 5 months. Part of that has to do with the fact that y'all's financial situation is going to change some, and that may actually improve his stress levels. I also think that in the process of that happening, someone may offer to assist or to help with some of the extra stuff that it's just too much for all of y'all. So I almost feel like it's just more help coming in, more financial resources coming in, and then in about a year, your mom kind of gets back to a state that I think is much more lined up with what she's used to. I do think she's going to go into therapy, though. Someone's going to recommend that, and I think that'll help her.
I want to think that, but I don't know. I see hesitancy from her side, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like what she's gone through is not. First of all, the way she's feeling is not the first time people have had to go through this. And I think that she might even decide to do this on her own without y'all even pushing her because someone she connects with or meets may kind of pull her in that direction. Because this has got to be about her and her getting herself back to a place where she needs to be. I won't say mom's going to be perfectly back to who she was. No, because this happened for a reason. So, but she's going to grow from this. You just got to give her a little more time. Also, don't be afraid of like calling her out on her bullshit because she needs to be called out sometimes. And y'all are being way too accommodating sometimes when y'all need to like crack the whip and get on her ass.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes it's okay sometimes to be like accommodating. Sometimes you just have to get on people's asses. And even if they're your parents, doesn't matter. I had to grow up when I was 13 and tell my mother what to do and run the bills and everything. So we got to get, if you have to step it up and kind of get on her, and sometimes your dad may not be willing to do that, then feel free to do so.
Great.
Good practice. Good practice.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, sweetheart. Well, you take care. By the way, where are y'all? I keep seeing Colorado, and I'm trying to figure out if you're going to move there, or if y'all are going to, or if you're just going to move there. Where are you right now?
Oh, in Michigan. Colorado is very off the radar, but interesting.
I feel like you're going to end up relocating to Colorado because it keeps in the Rockies for you, specifically for you.
Interesting. Okay.
Keep your eyes open. And if that happens, it will be within 2 years.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, darling. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. right, let's see. All right, so I'm out of time, so I'm going to do a couple more of the text versions, and then that is it for our live. Stephatil. My boyfriend Kevin has trigeminal. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but I'm just going to just go with that first word. Will it ever go away? Yeah, I actually think that it'll get better. It may take a little while though. I honestly think it may take almost 2 to 3 years before this is like really done. But I do think that it will go away. It just is going to take some time. And it almost feels like it feels like this is something that may get triggered by relapses. So there's always a potential of like a relapse. I don't even know what the condition is, but it feels like it's something that might get triggered by relapses. But within 2 to 3 years, I would say that is when I feel like this is a lot better, and like it's almost as if he feels more like himself again. Okay. Greetings, Ferny. Es meso espiritual, spiritual. Greetings, Ferny. Is my great grandmother Ilualia with me in spirit? Yes, she is. Keep an eye out for feathers because she might leave you feathers. Also, she keeps acknowledging a necklace. So I don't know if you carry a necklace that's supposed to represent connection to your ancestors or connection to your loved ones, but she's showing me something like this. It almost reminds me though of like something that reminds me of versus something that belonged to them. So that's how I would describe it. She also keeps acknowledging there might be a piece of art that you made that is dedicated to her, or you may have a tattoo that is dedicated to her. But I'm thinking this is more like art, so I'm thinking that's where that's going. As far as like in your spiritual journey, would you have any messages for me in general or for my spiritual path and journey? Yes. Do not always assume that you don't know enough to be able to do the things you want to do. If you feel confident in yourself, or if you can just, put yourself in that mental space to kind of own your own ability and your own capacity within this industry, I would say go for it. Also, be cautious of partnerships because partnerships are not always the best approach when it comes to advancing yourself with any kind of spiritual business or any kind of psychic work. So just be cautious of partnerships because sometimes we are too afraid to do it ourselves and we want to latch on somebody else as a kind of a crutch. So I feel like you need to be careful with partnerships. Okay, be a little more picky. All right, guys, I love you all. I will be back in about 5 minutes or so, just so we can get started with our about 10 minutes, so we can do our study group time. So I love you all. I will be back on Friday. Okay.